Okay, this is much better. I got StreamYard working. I am back. I'm not pixelated anymore. This looks real good. Hi, I'm back. Okay. Do you like the brick wall? It's real brick. Isn't that cool? I'm in my dining room. Well, more like my breakfast area. Just had it redone. It's super cute. Okay, so I had started talking about subject to on the other page because this one wasn't working so well, but now it's working. So we're going to go on geek mode. Last week we talked about interest rates. We talked about how everyone is freaking out, and they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be, because being at 5.1 or 5.2 is still a generational low compared to our parents and ourselves when it was like 8 or 11 or something crazy like that. But today I wanted to talk to you about subject to. Now, subject to doesn't mean the number 2. It doesn't mean TOO, like also. It means subject to existing financing. Give me some comments and let me know if you've heard of subject to existing financing. I need this to be interactive today because we have a lot to cover. Lots and lots to cover. Oh, that's funny. Hey. So we're going to dive right in. Subject to is a concept that was used a long time ago, and it seems like it should be completely illegal and gangster, and you should not be allowed to do it, and that you're going to go to jail. You will not go to jail. You're just really smart. You're smarter than the average bear, and you can get some really amazing deals, and you can help people out. So let me give you a scenario. The strategy of using subject to get control of a property is intuitive and it's smart. What it means is someone owns a property and they're paying 2.25% interest rate. The value of the home when they bought it was $200,000. They've been in it for a while. They only owe now $50,000, so they've paid off $150,000. You come into that deal and you say, I'm going to take over your payments. I'm just gonna pay for it. Your mortgage is $1,600 a month. Joanie Bates Sells is going to start paying your mortgage for $1,600 a month. You can stay there, but I'm going to own your home subject to your existing financing. Why is that good right now? Why would people be interested in doing this? I mean, shoot, you can get a house without going through the process, without having to qualify, without having to get a loan, without having to pay commissions, without having to do anything. You're simply taking over someone's payments. And you're thinking, how, Joanie, is that legal? How can that be possible? So let's break this down into an example. In your wallet, you have credit cards, right? I have credit cards, right? Of course we have credit cards. We go to Publix, we go to Kroger, whatever, and you pay for your groceries. Are you using cash that you own, your personal finances? Are you using cash? No. You're using your credit card. But when you leave, whose groceries are those? Is it the credit cards? Does the credit card own your groceries? No. You own the groceries. And how do you prove that you own the groceries? You have a receipt that has payment on it, and you take your groceries home. At the end of the month, you pay the credit card. What if someone met you in the parking lot and said, I don't have time to go in there, and you have everything in your buggy, cart, however you say it, that I need. I'm going to pay you right now for that. And I'm going to pay your credit card at the end of the month. Dude, and I'm actually going to give you extra. I'm going to give you another $100. Well, sure. Oh, yeah, that sounds great. So then you get the receipt. You now own those groceries. And at the end of the month, you pay the dude. You pay off his Amex. It's the same thing for subject to in a house. It's the exact same thing. You don't have to go through the process of getting a loan and origination fees and commissions and all the stuff. You're assuming taking over existing financing. So how in this market does that benefit people right now? And how do you get the equity out? If you're the person selling and you're considering doing a subject to, how do you get your equity out of it? Now, you're gonna have to follow along because we're gonna have to unpack this, and it does get a little complicated. But it's basically the same idea as paying with a credit card. You're using somebody else's money to get your groceries, and then you're paying that off at the end of the month. You still own those groceries. It's the exact same thing, but with a house. Exact same thing. Okay. So let's play the game that a house is worth, again, the $200,000. And you're going to do a subject to, but that person wants their equity. They're like, yeah, well, my house is now worth $290,000. I'm going to need that equity out of my house. Okay. So let's write this up. And this is how you would do it. You're basically saying the existing mortgage, they owe $50,000, right? And they're at a 2.5% or whatever. You're going to come in and Joannie Bates LLC or whatever your LLC is, it's good to have an LLC, is going to pay the bank. The bank doesn't care. The bank doesn't care who's paying. As long as they're getting payments on time, they don't care what name is on the check. Account number paid, shoot, account number paid, shoot, it doesn't matter. So the person in the house, they can stay there. Let's think about that. That person can stay in their house and rent it back from the investor. Are you following me? Okay. And the equity in the house, let's say it's now $290,000 and the person, is at $200,000 where they paid. They want that $90,000. You take that $90,000, you're basically going to buy that house for $90,000 on a subject to, because you're giving them their equity, right? But they want to stay in the house a little bit for whatever reason. You're like, okay, we can do that. Let's take the rent, which let's say is $1,600 for the mortgage. We're going to make it $18,000 because you're doing them a favor. You take that 18 times however many months they want to stay in the lease, and you reduce that from their equity. So if their equity was going to be 90 and they're going to stay in that house for another 10 months, so 10 times 1,800, reduce that from the 90, and that is the amount that that person who is living in the house will get for their equity. And then after the lease is up, you finish the deal, you close that deal, and Joannie Bates LLC or whatever LLC takes full ownership of the home and then does whatever they want with it. Or that person can stay in it and pay rent because they might be in a bad situation, or they might be in a situation where they're going to lose their house because they can't afford the monthly payment. This way, you've got a cape on and you're a hero because you're going in, doing a subject to, showing them their equity, taking out the rent, still giving them money, and they get to stay there. It seems like it's completely illegal. It seems like this should not be something you should do. Well, I've done it. I'm getting ready to do it again. It's very cool. It's a very cool creative process that helps a lot of people. And on the other side, my investors out there, think about the possibilities of doing a subject to a duplex, on an apartment building. You're basically going to purchase that property for the equity. You basically just purchased it for $90,000, and then you backed out their rent. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it is next level cool on a subject to. So my fellow agents, I want you to start thinking creatively with the interest rates going up. Start thinking about properties. You kind of have to find the sweet spot. Let's do an example. A big house that has a 3% interest rate and it's a 6-bedroom, 5.5 bath, and you're like, how can I possibly do a subject to on that kind of margin? Well, let's think about it. If it costs 6% to borrow money, right? And if you can get a house that's already got $300,000 in it at 3%, you subject to that $300,000, and then you only have to do $400,000 at the new rate. Did you follow me there? You want to buy a $700,000 home. That's what your family wants. That's what you need. That's your sweet spot. That's your dream home. It's got the pool. It's got the fire pit. It's got the great schools. You subject to the existing mortgage, and then they're going to want their equity. So let's say they owe 3, but they want 7. You do subject to on that 3 at their existing rate, and then you come in and get a loan for 400 at the current rate. Kind of sweet. And then they get their equity on that 400. There are a lot of moving parts in that, and it sounds like it shouldn't be legal. Ask me questions. Ask me. There are a lot of investors. My hands are dirty. A lot of investors who could really benefit from this program, from doing a subject to, for having an agent who knows what they're talking about in that arena, and finding the properties and allowing the people to stay for a little bit because they might be in a situation where they need to, or it might take them some time to get out, and you're giving them grace and you're able to do that subject to and pay the existing mortgage for a certain amount of time, give them their equity. So you're basically buying the house for just the equity. Game changer. Buying a $300,000 house for $90,000 because that's the equity in the house. Is good, is real good. I need to tell you about 3 houses that are listing real soon. 2 are in Harrison High School. One is in Columay West. It's going to coming soon. We did staging consultation today, and the other one is in Carrington West, all Harrison High School. And that one is being pre-appraised by DS Murphy. And we're getting those numbers together now. And then there's also a townhome available right next to KSU. And that is a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath in Chastain Gardens. So those are 3 properties, hot properties coming at you. And for my investors out there, if you want a dumpster fire, I love me a good dumpster fire. I need roaches. I need floors falling in. I need undescribable smells. I've got some dumpster fires for you. I do. I love me a good dumpster fire. Put your boots on, put your messy bun on, and go dig into some distressed properties. So it's been a long day, and I am going to have some dinner. But as always, be well. Thank you for tuning in, sweet friends. And I am always available for my new agents who have questions. Call me. For existing agents who just want to know I do have a lot of pocket listings too. Who want to know about pocket listings, off-market properties, call me. And if you're out there and you just aren't real sure about what's happening in the world right now, #buy dirt. You want to make sure your money is secure. You want to make sure that you have leverage. You want to make sure that you have generational wealth. Why don't you have investment properties? I mean, literally. Not to be that way, but it is literally a no-brainer. Everyone needs a place to live. And currently, we still don't have enough inventory. So if you want to pick yourself up a very inexpensive rental property, I guarantee you it will be rented. Without a doubt. Guaranteed. All right. I could keep talking, but I'm hungry. So holler at me if you need me, okay? This is Joannie Bates with Keller Williams Signature Partners. Look at this cute wall. Oh, it's so good. RF Interiors did that. Thank you, Becca. And my marketing director told me that I'm supposed to pause and smile so she can get a good thumbnail. How was that, Julie? Bye, guys.